So good day, class. On to our last topic for your finals. We are on the topic or study of your epidemiology, which will be discussed all throughout. So this part or in our finals, this is just summative of what epidemiology is, given that epidemiology will be discussed later on onto your next or second year. And there will be more in-depth knowledge in regards to this field of science, which is epidemiology. So this will only cover a few points when it comes to your epidemiology. So let us now start with your definition. So you have here it is a science that concerns with the circumstances of your different types of your diseases, particularly in their occurrence, and which your disease turns to flourish or what you term to infect others or increase their infective rate. And also where you have here there that these different types of diseases tends to not grow or infect other people. Also have here epidemiology is also the study of your distribution and determinants of those said diseases prevalence. And you have the field of your science in which concerned with your various factors and condition that determines the occurrence and distribution of your health, diseases, defects, disability, and that among your different types of group of individual that could be affected with this type of diseases. Epidemiology is also a study in terms for your distribution, and also you have the dynamics of your disease occurrence in your human population with aim given identifying these different types of factors of your causative agent for your basis to determine the preventive and control measure against those type of diseases. So you have these common terms when it comes to your epidemiology. So first you have endemic. Endemic is you have a constant presence of your disease or infectious agent within the given geographic area. There is also an equal number of your susceptible and also immune in these different types of diseases in a given population. So give a very small example for your endemic is your malaria that is usually located in Balawan. Next, you have your epidemic. You have the occurrence of your community or region of cases of your disease condition clearly over normal expectancy and derived from a common or propagated type of source or diseases. There are more immunes than your susceptibility or susceptible, given for example of your hepatitis cases, things like that, because you have your Hep B vaccine. Next is you have your pandemic. Pandemic is the denoting a disease affecting or attacking all or large portion of your population. And you have here extensive epidemic with a wide geographical distribution. So it's just an extension of your epidemic where it affects a wide area where you have many infected individuals. So for the example of your pandemic, so you have your COVID cases. Next, you have your sporadic. I think sporadic is you have here described as your occurrence of a few cases of your disease now and then in a geographic area. There are more immunes than your susceptible. So from the word sporadic, so you have sporadic, which sometimes the layman's term would be it just appeared out of nowhere, and sometimes the disease disappear all throughout or it got cured, okay? Or it lay low for a while. Next, you have the term like infection. So infection is the entry and the development of your infectious agent, which is the causative that or for example, you have your bacteria, viruses, or any other foreign materials that could infect your man or animal body. Then you have your infectious agent. Infectious agents are more specific organism. Chiefly, you have your microorganism, but including your different types of helmets. From your helmets, you already know this common term as your mga worms. It is capable of producing infections or infectious type of diseases. Next is your infectious disease. Infectious disease is an apparent or the manifestation of the condition of a man or animal resulting from your infection. So you have this type of, or other term yan, it is what you call your symptoms. Next is your incubation period. So incubation period is the time or the interval between your exposure from your infectious agent and the appearance of your first sign and symptom from your said disease. So let us say the example of your helmets where you are infected from your worms. So from the time you ingested the infectious agent, which is, for example, your fertilized egg of your Ascaris lumbricoides, so it would take days, weeks, or even months for the egg to develop into an adult worm. So that is the incubation period. And once the worm is now in adult stage and it will need nourishment, so it will get the nourishment or compete nourishment from you and also would try to reproduce from your body. Then you have your different types of sources of your infection is the person, animal, object, or substance in which your infectious agent immediately passes to the host. So you have here different types of cases. So in terms of your cases, so you have here first case that occurs to your family or community as a unit. So these are your common case of like patient zero, so your source of infection. So it could be from animal to human and could start from human to other human. Secondary cases are cases resulting from your primary cases, which could be, for example, you have the disease could be transmitted from one person to another. Okay, so more add-on detail when it comes to your secondary cases, it is when you have, for example, you have your main condition, for example, of your HIV. So HIV infects human, and once it is passed throughout to other people, okay, so that human will also be infected by your HIV, which lowers the immune system, and it will get another type of or second type of infection. So you have those secondary cases. Next are your different types of your host. So we have here reservoirs. So reservoirs are those, for example, you have your human beings, animals, arthropods. Arthropods are your different types of your insects, plant, soil, and you have inanimate objects. For example, you have your mga boxes or mga parcels. Okay, so you need to, before receiving your parcels from your Shopee, you need to disinfect it first. You don't know where it would have been. So in which you have here infectious agent normally lives and multiplies and on which it depends primarily for the survival and reproduce itself in such manner that it can be transmitted to another susceptible host or another susceptible individual. Next, you have here the term susceptible. Okay, susceptible are mainly you have here person or animal, presumably not possessing the sufficient resistance against the particular agent to prevent the contracting of your disease and if it is exposed to that said agent. So these are mga individual na wala immunity or uh, antibodies to fight those specific type of foreign substances or infectious agent. Next, you have here your carrier. So your carrier, it is defined as a person or your animal that harbors or carries your specific disease-causing agent in which you have here absence of your clinical manifestation. So what are your clinical manifestation? So those are mga signs and symptoms. So they do not suffer from the pathologic agent. Okay? But they serve as a source of infection to other people. Next is you have here contact, a person or animal who has been associated with the infected person or animal or contaminated environment. Next, you have the term incidence. Incidence is the frequency of the occurrence of new cases of a disease in a population over the stated period expressing as your rate. So, how many are people infected in that said area, and also the time of the infection and the length or after it was cured. Next, you have your isolation is the limitation of the movement of your said person or infected individual with a communicable disease, or you have different types of carrier that harbor or carry your infectious agent. Then quarantine. Quarantine is the restriction of your movement of those who have been in contact with your communicable diseases for some time during in which you have here potentially be infectious or could be transferred to other people. So this is your the introduction lang when it comes to your epidemiology. So you have here methods of your epidemiologic study. So in your epidemiologic study, so first you have your descriptive method, wherein you have your let us first put ourselves as epidemiologists or researchers or specialists when it comes to disease identification. So you have here epidemiologists seeks to study or accurate description of your specific type of diseases phenomenon that has already been occurred. He or she gathers pertinent data regarding for you have your time. Under your time is specific. You have year, season, and the day. And you have the location or place of its occurrence. Under the place of the occurrence, you have your geographic data, political, subdivision, rural or urban areas. It also investigate the characteristic of the infected mga individuals. So given of those characteristics, you have your age, sex, ethnic group, occupation, and family history to check if there is any relationship when it comes to mga hereditary diseases or mga defective nga mga genes that could be carried from the ilang source or sa ilang great grandfather to the infected individual. Next is the formulation of your hypothesis. So you have here acceptable hypothesis must be consistent with the facts known or from all of your data gathered. So you have here disease occurrence. Next is testing of your hypothesis. So you have analytical studies in which it could be either observable or experimental and are designed to test your different types of hypothesis to your said nga disease nga imo nga i-try i-cure. Then you have your epidemiologic triad. So this is a very simple nga connection between your host, your agent or your infectious agent and aton nga relationship when it comes to your agent to its living environment. So if aton nga living environment, you have here all of that are either external to the agent and external man sa host. Then you have definition of your host here, particularly individual or a group of your immediate concern which is amo nang aton nga ginatry protect. For example, kita as human we are considered to be host, either susceptible or different type of host. Then you have your agent or your etiological agent or your source, okay, source of your disease. So you have these three types of your elements are closely bound together and each other affects one another. So you have the interaction of your host, agent, and environment determines the mode of your transmission or how it is being transferred to your host. Natural history, so that is from your etiologic agent. Occurrence, and you have control of your diseases for your environment. Illness is you have here in your host if what is ang iyang counter reaction to those type of foreign substances or other type of health conditions. The health of your individual or your community depends upon the state of the equilibrium maintained within this triad of elements. So for your transmission of your infectious agent could be, you have here direct transmission and indirect transmission. So lahat ng isang definition. But if I would have here, kindly take note with for example of your mga direct transmission, those are direct transmission like blood, okay, blood transfusion or from your mother to baby. For example, so you have different types of your uh, bacteria or infectious agent from your mga microorganism, different types of viruses, but you have your common nga mga bacteria that could cause or cross transplacental, okay? They have the mechanism, okay, to penetrate the placental wall. Then you have your infection that could be transferred from blood to blood, which is, as you know, you have your HIV. That could be one of the main direct transmission. Now, let us more focus on your indirect transmission. So you have three indirect type of transmission. First are your vehicle-borne. So from the word vehicle, so your infectious agent uses different types of mechanism, mainly from the outside or from the environment. So common of this type of your indirect transmission came from contaminated ng mga food and water. Amo nang ilagay na use as their uh, ways, okay, to survive and also try to infect those type of mga individual or host. Next are your vehicle vector borne. So vector, so let us talk about your vectors. So vectors are commonly your different types of your insects or your arthropods. So very common example are your mga kissing bug, your mosquitoes, cockroaches, okay? So those are your vectors. They use other nga mga organism, ha? Hindi microorganism, but different types of organism, especially those of your mga insects. So, okay, so they carry those type of mga pathogen so they could infect hosts. Next are your airborne. So from the word airborne, so they are light enough to be spread around sa aton nga air, okay, and float towards sa aton o sa aton nga environment. So you have the common example is your COVID, okay, given that it is a very or a highly communicable nga disease and it is considered to be airborne. So that covers our epidemiology. So it's very quite simple lang ni when it comes to our epidemiology nga study, given nga it will still be discussed later on in your journey as medtech. Now, phases of your epidemiology approach. So you have here the different type of study, okay, or phases for your epidemiology or how you study your different types of diseases. First is your descriptive study. So, as in any type of your study, the first phase is your epidemiological investigation of your disease condition, in which first and foremost you have your data collection. So, in your data collection, you'll have your organization and analysis of all of your data that has been gathered, which is considered to be your exploratory phase. So since data collection alone is often an expensive and arduous nga process, this phase depends largely on already available information like you have here, your vital statistics. Okay? You have your so you have here this proposes your diagnosis that are already verified, and you have your major task in describe the accurately the distribution of your disease in the said population. After all, you have your different types of your vital statistics that are being gathered from your patient or from the individual that are you have your infected. So you have a strategy of your epidemiology called your descriptive studies as your basis for your different types of your analysis. Next is the verification of your diagnosis. So it is a prerequisite in describing the occurrence of your disease condition, and it is the recognition or the identification with you have your reasonable certainty that those questions could be answered like this one. If the disease that is reported to be and to what answer of those different types of question only requires the recognition of your clinical manifestation of your disease. For example, here you have your measles and chickenpox. So for example, of your chickenpox, commonly they are occurred on your mga children. And once you have your chickenpox, okay, they develop your antibodies. That's why they do not have chickenpox once or twice. Okay, but there is some cases where there is an occurrence of your chickenpox. Okay, the secondary chickenpox is now called your shingles. Now, for shingles, okay, it's quite dangerous given that it has a high mortality rate. Okay, and many, let us continue with our topic. So many necessary laboratory and diagnostic tests. You also have here gastroenteritis and your tuberculosis. And you have in the presence of your various clinical manifestation, it would be necessary to state one's definition of your case. And if doing so, you have two factors that should be considered, which is you have your sensitivity and specificity. So let us discuss these two terminologies. You have sensitivity. So it is the ability of the definition of your test in which you have here to pick up all cases or avoid false negative. Okay, so meaning this is, for example, you are looking for your antigen are your infectious, okay, nga agent. Now you have the term sensitivity. Okay? Therefore, in your testing kit, okay, dapat tanan yang or maskin ano man ang mga other diseases nga ara sa person nga na, and also maskin ano man na kagamay sa aton nga infectious agent nga ara sa aton nga person, okay, it should only, okay, it should show positive nga result. Okay. Next is you have your specificity. Okay, it is the ability to exclude other cases or void mga false positive nga negative or false negative nga mga results. So you have here. So taking a test for mga diabetes, for example, here urine sugar determination is a sensitive test because it can pick up all diabetics. Then you have determination of your fasting blood sugar, on the other hand, is both sensitive and specific test because on the you have here one can pick up most, if not all, of your diabetic, can exclude non-diabetic. So taking the definition of your case, like your gastrointestinal outbreak or another example, one would have to decline or decide among the various different types of manifestations ng ilang symptoms. For example, here you have your diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, abdominal cramps, and you have your different types of mga common nga mga matabo. You have also like mga malnourishment, okay? Under sa ato na nga mga symptoms. Should be included in the definition for it both are sensitive and specific. Okay, to give you the clear or the summative definition for the both, so you have the sensitivity, so it will measure even the minute or the smallest amount of your causative agent, and the term specificity will measure only the desired nga aton nga infectious agent maskin ano mo sa, for example, if the patient has mga HIV, tuberculosis, okay, syphilis, but ang atong bigang testing kit is only for hepatitis, okay? Therefore, magagawa na siya negative if negative man ang patient for hepatitis. Klaro na? So that is your specificity. It will only read kung ano ang specific yang designated nga result. Next is your description of your disease or your condition. So after verifying of your diagnosis, the next step is to describe the disease pattern in terms of place, person, and also time of the infection. Okay, so hindi man gid yat centrally in order when it comes to the description of your disease. So you have here frequency of your disease as shown by the morbidity and mortality statistic varies by place, person, and the time, and the study on the different types of factor that could affect or influence the variation that offers important clues to your disease causation or the direct source of your disease. So let us first talk about the characteristic of your place. You have here Frequency of your disease can be related to the place occurrence in patterns of their area set off by either their natural barriers. So what are your mga natural barriers? So you have here example of those are your rivers, mountains, which divide different types of geographic location. You also have political subdivisions, and you have places separated by your natural barriers offers more useful clues which can differentiate in disease frequency because of certain environmental and climatic nga mga conditions. Differences in also in economic and social activities or ang ilang mga standings and the availability of the transportation of your medical facilities. So which are, for example, mga ready to be access nga mga area. So for example, of mga communities ara sa mga babaw bukid naman luwat, so they are hard to reach nga mga places given nga since malayo to sila, yaon ka tumaabot. Ang mga medicines and also mga health checkups, okay, are quite rare dito sa ilang nga location. Next are your characteristic of the person. So you have here in describing the disease pattern in terms of the person morbidity rate are computed according to their different types of characteristics. Under certain characteristic, once again, are your age, sex, occupation, residence, and different types of detail that could give an answer to your anong ginahong main focus ng aton nga mga disease nga ginaepektuhan. These characteristics are analyzed to determine the susceptible population of your group. And persons differ biologically as well in their manner of living. So this difference of your individual or also in your groups, whether natural or either acquired, uh, affects the occurrence of your distribution of your different types of your diseases, where your communicable disease constitute the major public health problem in your given community or our country. It will be useful to understand how much difference in your different types of your group affects the behavior of your diseases, which can be illustrated by a community reaction in the total of reaction of your individual who compose of your population group. So let us talk about common nga mga diseases nga makuha mo from mga slums again sa mga stay sa mga subdivisions. So common nga mga diseases when it comes to your mga slums, so you have syempre mga parasitic nga mga infections sa ilang mga intestine. So very common the mga helmets. Also given nga since malnourished na sila, so you have your mga muscle nga growth or mga growth problem compared sa mga gastay sa mga subdivision. In sa mga subdivision, you have nga mga common magyapon nga mga sakit which is you have your mga dengue which is also rampant man sa aton nga mga slum areas. Okay? Then you have several factors determines the reaction of your community population group to your disease agent invasion. These are, you have here mga terms like your herd immunity. So take note of this one. So herd immunity is a state of your resistance of your population group to a certain disease at a given type. So make sure you take note and tandaan nyo gini. Because in other words, you have here, it is the level of either immunity of your group, which you have contribution on the state of immunity of each other. Some have high levels of your immunity, which others, or while still others have no immunity at all. And the numbers of individual, on the other hand, determines the susceptibility of the status of your community, which no or with little or no immunity at all. So, as you know, what happened during your COVID season when there is a mass population ng vaccination, right? That's what amotong gina-try i-achieve sa atong nga Department of Health, where all of us could be vaccinated or immunized from COVID to achieve this herd immunity. I think you sometimes heard this uh, term during the mga news because for example, if there's one individual nga wala siya nagpa-immunize, therefore he or she is susceptible to the COVID. Now, if the people around him or her are immune to COVID, therefore, at least there will be no connection from COVID Okay? From other people that is already infected, mapasa sa iya. Given nga, ang people around her or him is already immunized. Okay? Maprotect sa aton nga mga vaccinated nga people, though ang mga person nga wala immunity against those type of infectious agent. Next is your susceptibility level. So changes as individual becomes infected, and these individuals develops your immunity and recovers. If the resulting immunity is durable, susceptibility decreases with your age. So for example, you have your mga common mga diseases that are being carried throughout sa aton nga lifespan. So, for example, common nga mga diseases are like your mga hepatic nga mga diseases which is caused by syempre either aton nga mga habits like drinking, things like that that damage your liver. But mostly you have your mga hepatitis. So, common gid na nga term is hepatitis or infection sa liver and it caused by your mga viruses that targets your liver. Now, since you grow older, your organs also age, same as your antibodies, okay, that prevents the multiplication or pag-proliferate gid sang aton nga mga infectious agent. Now, since you grow old, okay, your antibody or aton nga immune system goes down. That's why they began to run rampant. That's why it's very common for old people to be diagnosed by chronic type of diseases because they are exposed to those type of mga antigens even they were already mga young bata pa. Okay? So they are already exposed mga around 6 months ago, okay, 1 year ago, okay, it doesn't matter kung ano ka uh, wala siya nagpakita sa symptoms but the infectious agent is already in your body. Gawait lang na siya sang time where you have your immunity level magnubo. Next in our topic is your immunity level of your population may reflect by the mortality and morbidity figures. So you have high morbidity and mortality rates are reflected by low herd immunity given that kung gamay lang nagpa-immunize sa inyo, therefore most of your people are susceptible and once they get infected and they get mga symptoms and sadly if they pass or mapatay sila sa aton ng mga diseases, okay, they will be added to the morbidity nga rating. So, for example, high antibody titers is an indicative of your high immunity. And in addition to this, determining the age distribution of your immunity by your serological test will give an idea of the time and the disease when was it last present. So, you have here a very vague explanation when it comes to your serologic testing. So, take note of your different types of your IgM and IgG. So those are your common nga mga antibody. So let's say for example of your dengue test, okay? As you know, you have two types of your dengue test which is very common lang. First is you have your NS1, okay? NS1 or NS1 AG. So you are detecting of the infectious agent of your dengue. Next is you have your dengue duo. So dengue duo has your NS1 and also IgM and IgG, which are two types of antibodies. So for example, if ang patient itself, kung man-negative siya sa NS1 AG, ibig sabihin, negative siya sa dengue. But kung nag-positive siya sa IgG kag IgM, okay, ibig sabihin sina may ara siya sang dengue nga may ara siya antibody against the dengue and also may previous siya nga antibody from a dengue manggihapon. Ibig sabihin may ara siya sa orga curing stage na siya sa aton nga dengue given nga nag-negative na ang iyang NS1 but he or she has previous nga infection from your dengue. So muna ha, take note you have your dengue test, you have NS1 or dengue NS1 which only detects the antigen and for your dengue duo ara na da ang aton nga NS1 aging and also your IgG and IgM. So kung may mapa-dengue test, okay, mas mayo ang dengue duo. So medyo mas mahal lang siya sa aton nga NS1 but it is much more better kaysa iya pa lang ang result. Okay, makitaan mo kung may previous or may current siya nga infection from your dengue. Then next is the proportion of your immune to your susceptible is also determined whether you have here an epidemic or whether a disease will be an endemic or sporadic in nature in your population. So for example, of your COVID nga case since it was first nga na infect sa human, okay? Although it is a mutated nga though same lang siya sa aton nga mga MERS-CoV, okay? But it's a new and grabe siya nga mag infect nga strain. Okay? So since tanan kita we are susceptible, wala pa kita vaccination, wala tanan antibody, okay? That's why it was ba that's why it was an epidemic. Now, you have no mga common nga mga cases like your mga endemic or your mga sporadic nga mga cases like your mga matuliwat gyapon hepatitis B or mga flu na lang gani. Okay, so you have your mga flu cases given na nga if manog rainy season na, okay, may mga doctors or sa aton mismo sa doctors da, you had your flu vaccination. So sa mga wala nakaabot, okay, so make sure mapa-flu vaccine ka mo. So it will help boost your immune system to avoid ng mga maglain yung matsyag and mamiss sa mga classes. So you have your when the numbers of your susceptible far outweighs the number of your immunes, a pandemic may expected to occur. And in or inverse situation, you have your sporadic cases are expected to occur. So for example of your mga sporadic is kung mas damo ang immune compared sa mga susceptible. So if kung maubos sa tanan nga susceptible or na-infect sila, tapos nagka ano man sila, na-cure man sila and nagka antibody sila mismo nag-develop sa ilang antibody, so manadula ang disease outbreak. Okay, however, a balance between the number of your immunes and susceptible will probably result in your endemic nga situation. Next is exposure of your contact rate. So this represents the opportunity for mga progressive nga ma-transfer or the transmission of your infectious agent to your new host, and the probability of your transfer depends of these different types of mga criteria. First is the size of your reservoir. So which determines the frequency of your contact and also the facilities of transmission is in turn affected the population density and in case of your contact-borne diseases. So for example of what are your mga contact-borne diseases? Let me give you an example of your one of your parasite which is your hookworm. So your hookworm infects you, okay, through skin penetration. Now, commonly they enter your sa aton nga mga tiil. Okay? Now, very simple because common sa aton is galakat magtiniil. Okay? And they penetrate your skin. Okay? So, the more gagatiniil, mas the more ang aton nga iya nga contact. Okay? Then, you also have your mga water source. Okay? It's very common. Okay? Then, you have here affected by the population density, okay, in case of your contact-borne diseases. And you have, syempre, standard hygiene in case of mga vehicle-borne nga mga diseases. So that's why it's very quite important to always wash your hands before eating. Okay? And for example, you have your tuberculosis, which is transmitted by contact. And you have higher probability of spread in a densely populated nga area given nga for example, it could be airborne man nga daan ang aton nga ang aton nga tuberculosis. It's not like nag-survive siya sa air, but the way it could be transferred, okay, could be transferred airborne. And you have there's a higher incidence for your mga gastroenteritis in an area with poor sanitation than in those with good sanitation. And disease transmission by your different types of your vectors, such as your malaria, is bound in areas with a high mosquito density. For example, sa mga kakahuyan, sa mga bukid, kilid sa mga suba. Okay. Next is your chance. Chance is the probability of contact between the source of infection and the susceptibility individual, which depends on you have here the number of source of your infection. So, kung ano kadamo ang imong gintulan. For example, binag-inom ka sang tubig nga hindi man mo nakatinlo. So, therefore, kung ano kadamo da ang microorganism sa mo tong tubig, the greater the chance of your infection. Next is the location of the source of your infection. So if it is nearer to its susceptible population, therefore there is a greater chance for you to be exposed from those different types of pathologic agent. Next is the number of your immune. So the lower the number of immunes, the greater the chance of exposure or spread sa aton nga diseases. Next is characteristic of your time. So this study of your disease occurrence, which with you have your time is basic component of your biological analysis, and the occurrence of your disease in which it is expressed on a daily, weekly, monthly, or other yearly basis. And it is usually reckoned in terms of your time onset rather than any other criteria as reporting of your time admission to its medical or health facilities. The individual from your time of onset to your diagnosis is short for an acute nga mga diseases and ano to? And interval may produce the distortion pattern for your disease occurrence, mark changes in the disease frequency in a very short time and often easier to explain than the changes that involve slowly. These have here are changes of your disease frequency with time may be categorized into different types of three headings depending on the time it is scaled involved. So you have here short-term fluctuation or your endemic, so changes in your disease frequency in a very short time, which you have your characteristic of epidemics can be illustrated utilizing the epidemic curve wherein you have, for example, since ga-start pa lang ang imo nga infection, therefore ang imo nga infection rate nubo. Now, if you infect quite a lot of individual, okay, and those said infected individual infect other people, therefore there will be a sudden increase of your number of infected. Ayan mo na siya nga nga short time calculation. So two common type here, you have some common source epidemic, and this type of epidemic is due to you have here exposure of your group or population to a common vehicle. So commonly you have your water source or your food. So amo tong very basic ng explanation or atong example will be your wait lang. Ano Okay, so you have two examples ang prelim. So you have your cholera infection, which is ang aton tong source is your contaminated water, okay, with your sewage water. So you have here the onset is usually rapid, okay? Damo to din ang naapektuhan, damo ang nagka gastroenteritis or gastroinfection, and there's a lot of that. Although variations may occur depending on the length of the exposure or for example, kung ano kadamo yung ginom mga tubig okay, to the common source. Its typical form is called your point source outbreak, wherein exposure is brief and simultaneous. All of the cases develop within the incubation period, so that the epidemic curve shows a rapid increase and a fall when it usually skewed or slanted to the right. You have the variation of your common source of epidemic occurs when there is somewhat prolonged exposure and you have the source so that infectious agent is taken over long periods of time from the incubation period. Next is your propagated epidemic. So this type of epidemic results from the direct or indirect type of your transmission or your infectious agent. So you have here from an infected susceptible person, the onset is usually gradual, and the cases occurring on your several cases in such successive period. So you are reflected by an ascending limbs of your mga waving epidemic curve. So duga up down kay ga appear disappear ang aton nga mga cases for your propagated nga epidemic. So it should be underscored with the epidemic curve, described with the present of your typical pattern. However, you have the variety of your incubation period may be obscure this type of pattern. For example, a propagated outbreak of a disease that is highly infectious and has a short incubation period may result in your rapidly rising and rapidly falling curve, similar to the point of your outbreak. In this manner, a typical point of outbreak may be obscured by your continued contamination by your source or by a long variable incubation period. So medyo dugay mag-develop ang aton nga mga diseases. Next is your cyclic variation. So this refers to the recurrence or the fluctuation of your disease frequency, which may be exhibit in the different type of your cycle, lasting for certain period. The occurrence of your certain disease at a certain month of the year is referred to your seasonal nga occurrence. So you have ato ni mga dengue cases which is usually ga increase gid during rainy season. Also, you have mga cases like your mga leptospirosis. Okay, for example, be like now, mag-inulan mga panahon subong. Okay, therefore, halong kamuklas. Okay, when you have your mga seasonal or mga expected ng mga infection given of these different types of situation or scenario. Seasonal variation is usually based on the characteristic of your infection or agent itself and its different type of like lifespan or pattern. So you have here life pattern of your vector, okay, which is aton nga mga common nga mga insects or aton nga animal host or changes in the likelihood of your person-to-person nga transmission. Example of your seasonal occurrence in your Philippines are your cholera, which reaches a peak during mga rainy months of from your August and September when you have here flooding, other factors facilitates the transmission. You also have the pneumonia, okay? Another one, pneumonia, wherein syempre ang aton nga mga cough na okay, mga ubo given from the cold winds that is usually from November to January. For subong do hasta February, lamig-lamig pa. Okay? Next is you have your secular variation. So this refers to the changes of your disease frequency over the period of many years. So you have here decades and century. So you have major changes in the population pattern. As for example, may mga migration, change ng ilang mga life habit, okay, brings out the corresponding changes in your disease pattern. One general example of this trend is the decreasing incidence of most of your communicable diseases and in the rise of your chronic degenerating or degenerative diseases in many countries, particularly in mga developed nga mga countries. Next or the last na lang nga part is your analysis of your disease pattern. So in your analysis of your disease pattern, so these are analyzing of your disease condition according to the place and time is needed to determine the general pattern of your disease occurrence and the identification of your group which you have your high risk of your disease concern kung anong aton nga common nga ginaapektuhan na. For example, you have your mga chickenpox, measles, okay? Rubella. Okay, so those are delikado kapin na sa mga kabataan. Okay? And kapin pagid sa mga pregnant pagid nga mga babayi. In the process of this analysis, one tries to find out if there is a statistical relationship between your disease and the biological or the societal attribution, revealing a descriptive study. Understanding the meaning of its statistical relationship is therefore the most important part of your disease pattern analysis. A statistical association may be causal or non-causal in nature, and a non-causal one being artificial or secondary. You have the possible explanation for this type of your association are given. First is your artifactual or your scrupulous association and may be due to your certain procedural aspect involved in your study, which is you have your selecting of your study subject, obtaining or collecting your information, and recording information or observation during those type of your mga cases or scenario. For example, here is a subject in a study of patient of your Philippine General Hospital, and one finds a direct relationship between the socio-economic status and the disease concern. For example, you have mga aton nga different type of lifestyle or ang ilang nga income base. The relationship is copious since most patient in this hospital belongs to the lower income group than mga high income nga tao. Next is your secondary. You have here when a factor of your disease are associated only because both are related to some commonly underlying conditions. So for example, say mga ilang nga mga sintomas. Such association is secondary in nature and change the factor corresponding for the second association will not produce corresponding change that will also affect the underlying condition. For example, here is a high prevalence of your peptic ulcer among lung cancer patients and can be attributed to your smoking, which is a contributing factor for those type of nga diseases, which is ang amon nga vices, which is ang smoking. Next is your causal. Causal is the causal relationship exists whether there is an evidence to show that your certain factors increases the probability of occurrence of this type of your disease, and you have that diminution of of one or more of these factors decreases the frequency occurrence of your disease itself. Next is your hypothesis formation. The second strategy for your epidemiological investigation consists of your hypothesis formation. In your hypothesis, they are formed from your descriptive study to explain the pattern of your disease distribution in a population. Methods of formulating this hypothesis. So you have hypothesis regarding diseases causation must be consistent with all of these known factor and the occurrence of those diseases. So before formulating of your hypothesis, you should classify the following type of method. First is the method of your difference. So method difference, in this method, assumes that the frequency of your disease is marked different under two different circumstances and different types of factor that could be identified in a one circumstance. That you have here that the other one should be absent, in which you have your different types of factor that would reflect the absence and make cause for your disease. For example, here, cancer of your cervix, while very common among female, okay, it is extremely rare in nuns. Given that you have here, this implies that some aspect for the reproductive process and predisposes this type of condition. So make sure you take note of this type of example. Then, methods of your agreement. So this method assumes that there is a common in factor to several different circumstances that are associated with the presence of the said disease. So you have here, this factor may be the cause of the disease of your cancer of the cervix in associated with their sexual intercourse at an early age. So you also have multiple partners and a low socio-economic factors. So these are your common factors that could transmit your pathologic agent that could cause your cancer in your cervix. Next is the method of your concomitant variation, and this method assumes that the frequency of your factor in question varies in the frequency of your disease association. With it, you have your quantitative way of looking for the same assumption as mentioned for the first two nga methods. Example of these methods are relationship of frequency of various directory constituent to your coronary heart disease and also fluoride concentration in your water for your dental caries. Last is your method of your analogy. So this method makes use of your deductive reasoning, so which answers your generalities to specific, which is you have your epidemiological principles already existed and applied to your specific situation. This method differ from the first three methods in respect to the you have here. First three methods make use of your indestructive reasonings which ginatrakya ang ato nga mga source and gahatag ka sa mga general nila nga mga connection. For example, the observation that age and sex pattern for your tuberculosis in adult are similar to your lung cancer, and the knowledge of your lung cancer is related to smoking and may lead to the hypothesis that smoking is also one of your factor for your tuberculosis. Next is your consideration for your formulation of your hypothesis. First is the correlation. So correlation is the epidemiological findings which you have your other disciplines form new hypothesis. So epidemiological findings are most or the very most important part when it comes to your analytical studies that are viewed in the light of your clinical laboratory data. Kung ano yung mga results sa aton ng mga laboratory testing. Number two, stronger statistical association is present and more likely to be the causal relationship. You have the strength here refers to the situation of your disease being absent of one of your circumstances and present in one another. Example, once again, is association between your lung cancer and smoking, which is stronger than between your smoking and your cardiovascular nga mga diseases. Number three, you have observations of your changes in disease over time have been productive of a new hypothesis, especially those occurring over very short period of time. For example, here, babies born to women who took thiolide tablets during their pregnancy involves a short period, for example, 9 months for congenital malformation to be apparent. So this could cause fatal or sa aton nga fetus, okay, ma-deform siya. Then, you have your number 4, isolation or unusual case deserves special attention as it may be productive for a new hypothesis. So this can be illustrated in the following example of you have your outbreak of your measles on an island. The source of your infection was a seaman who had no disease. Therefore, carrier lang siya. Animological investigation reveals that high attack rate among children while those who had measles in an outbreak around 30 years ago were spared. This finding supports the conclusion that measles may give lifelong immunity or once magka-measles ka na, okay, okay, you are immune. Then number 5, observation that appears to conflict with the existing situation is maybe produce of a new hypothesis. For example, high levels of your estrogen are associated with your breast cancer. However, women usually delivers babies at high level of estrogen but may not develop your breast cancer. So this implies that only certain kinds of your estrogen or different types of your estrogen are implicated in your breast cancer development. Next are your hypothesis testing phase or your analysis studies. So you have here your third phase is your physiological investigation consists of your different types of testing or formulated of your analytical studies in which you have different types of your experimentation or non-experimental in nature. First are your experimental studies. Experimental studies are made to test cause effect of your relationship by deliberating, applying, and withholding your different type of your causative factors And you have here observe your subsequent presence or absence of your infected or expected effect. These studies generally utilize animals, but can also utilize in your human, given you have certain situation or criteria that you should follow. And you have limitation of both animals and human experimentations are given. Next is your animal experimentation. This uses animals experimentation studies in widely practice due to the absence of your ethical consideration. However, you have here assume the result in animals can be generalized to human, and it is not always true as many really reactions are specific to this type of certain species of animals. And these are your main limiting factors to this type of studies that could be applied to your animal experimentation. Next, human experimentation. The use of your human beings in experimental studies, and it is usually limited to those which involves the addition of being presumed to be beneficial or removal of things presumed to be harmful. In addition, these studies requires the cooperation of your subjects to be successful because tanan nga dapat or tanan yung ginabatsyag, anything when it comes to its condition, it should be properly be stated in your data. Field trials to be evaluate the efficacy of these certain immunization agents for vaccines are example of your experimental studies utilizing human subjects. So you have here ang pag-produce ang aton nga vaccination. Next are your mga non-experimental studies. So non-experimental studies makes use of natural uh, circumstances which stimulates the experimental of test for your cause-effect relationship. It can differ for the experimental studies in that there is no deliberation application withholding the supposed causative agent, but identifies and supposed criteria determines the expected effect, vice versa, through the analysis of these different types of occurrence. Hence, you have here the cold analytic studies for your non-experimental or analytic studies could be classified into different types. So you have your cohort and case history or your retrospective studies. So let us first discuss your cohort studies or your prospective studies. So this is studies in which you have investigators selects your different types of group of person to be studied in terms of their characteristic that manifest those type of mga conditions before the appearance of your disease under investigation. And you have observed them from over some time to determine the frequency of diseases depending on their characteristic or ang ilang group. It is called your prospective study because you have forward looking. Ibig sabihin, you're ginsecure mo anay ang patient, okay, before ka nag-study sa atong nga mga sintomas or before siya ma-infect sa amo na nga sakit. So you have here advantage permits direct comparison for the incidence rate and computation of the relative risk. Also term with your incidence studies, it shows association with other type of diseases because you have one under investigation as your byproduct. Disadvantage of this type of your study is that main disadvantage is you have usually takes long period given nga hulaton mo pa ang aton nga ma-disease to show some symptoms. Okay? Knowledge also of your exposure is the source of your bias and in determining the presence or absence of disease among the study group. Because of their long follow-up period, the subject may be lost in the study of and sometimes the investigator or the aton nga epidemiologist itself will be lost sa studies. Next is indication. So these are the methods of choice in rare exposures, which makes the study group easily identifiable. So where resources are adequate and in situation where it affects the observable and obtainable within a short period of time. Also, lastly, a different type of your study is your case history or your retrospective study, in which you have here type of your study in which group or individual are selected in terms whether they do or do not have the disease under investigation, and the groups are then compared in terms for your exposure to these different types of mga factors for your diseases. It is also called retrospective because backward looking. Advantages here are in relative of inexpensive and easier to undertake since it requires a small number of your test subject. It also provides a relatively quick result given your subjects already experience those type of diseases. Disadvantages lang of this study is that does not permit direct computation of your incidence rate, which is ang start sa aton nga pag-exposure until nagka-sintomas na siya. Then cross-sectional study in which your addition for your common type of study, another study that can be undertaken in the cross-sectional study. So this study examines the relationship between disease and other variable interests as they exist in a defined population and one particular time. Hence, it is also called your prevalence studies. And the prevalence is it is the presence or the absence of your disease and other variable that could determine each member or your study population. And the representatives or representative of your sample define the terms of your the absence or presence of your variable for your disease retrospective. Now, for your application of your epidemiology for your community health, you have here, as an epidemiologist, you view your whole community as your patient and making your different types of your diagnosis. You also have your principle of your clinical medicine and laboratory diagnosis as well as observation and also technique that should be utilized in determining the best source of action to prevent and control and to promote community health. So several steps should be involved in your biological approach to establish control programs for your health problems. So you have your determining your natural history of your disease condition of your health problems, which involves your epidemiological triad, which is siyempre ang atong nga host, agent, and your environment. So this is just no dugangan lang topic. So for your host, you have here demographic characteristics. Example are under those age, sex, ethnical group, etc. Also have your general health status, anatomic structure, physiological state, nutrition, and genetic determinants, and stress reaction. You also have your body defense system, which is ang aton nga primary defense mechanism or aton nga first defense is your skin. Next is your mucous membrane. Then you have your uh, lymphatic system state of immunity and immunological response. Then you have your natural immunity and artificial immunity. So you have here natural immunity. Natural immunity is ang nakuha ta from our parents. So, for example, from your mother nga napasa sa imo, so you have your mga genetic immunity, and you have artificial immunity which is ang motong aton ng mga vaccination. So, it's either passive or active ang aton nga different types of immunity. Then you have human behavior. Under human behavior, you have your different types of your lifestyle, diet, food handling, personal hygiene, forms of your personal contact, household hygiene, occupation, and recreational. Next is your agent or arithmetical agents. You have biological. So what type of agent are those? So you have bacteria, viruses, fungi, helmets, protozoan, and you have determination of their life cycle, morphology, and clinical composition. Also have your multiplication. Virulence. Virulence is defined as kung ano ya impact ang iyang symptoms sa aton. Then you have the viability and vulnerability of your different types of your agent. Next is the physical attribute for you have your temperature, noise, and radiation. For the chemical, you have your gases, dust, vapors, and liquid. So it could pwede yan makarry or those are the cause sa aton nga different types of diseases. Then you have the absence of your substance, which could be mga nutrient deficiency or your malnutrition. Then last is your environment. In your environment, you have your physical, biological, and social. For physical environment, those are ang aton nga direct that can cause or affect the disease itself. So you have under those are your weather, different types of your climate, seasonal. So for example, in Philippines, you only have duha ka season din. Wala kita sa nga aton nga winter. So we only have rain season and syempre aton nga summer. Sa aton nga soil and sa aton nga terrain, your geographic difference and geology and geography. For your biological, you have here your animal reservoirs or reservoir. Then you have your arthropod vectors and your food supply. For your social, you have different types of your family, community structure, population density, mobility, and also political and economic realities, occupation, roles, and status. So you have your schools, housing, transportation, and provision of your health services. Now, last here are the determining the extent of your problem. So you have what is the proportion of your people that are affected by those diseases. How serious are the effect of the disease to your host? Okay, how serious are the effect to your community? Anong mga madamage da? Okay, ano ka siya kadasig or ano siya kadasig ma-infect or ano siya ka-rampant in your said community. What is the geographical distribution? Okay, kung ano maka-infect siya ayan sa other ng communities, things like that. And what are the time relationship from time of exposure until magwa ang iyang symptoms. Therefore, you have planning the strategy of control. You have to get the knowledge of the natural history of your condition, identification of your vulnerable groups in which your problem is centered, identification of your points at which your agent is most vulnerable to attack, and control the measures available for use. Identification of your strategic point in which changes the environment may affect the health problems favoring your man or aton nga mga host or aton nga susceptible host, and selection of your appropriate control measures or your quarantine. Priorities are determined based on the relative importance of your problem to your community as a whole in comparison with other problems in your community must face. The application of your appropriate control measures must be determined based on the available community resource and other factors in total situation. And lastly is your establishing of your control program. So these are plans that are formulated with a clear definition and objective. After determining the strategy of your control, the health department or other agencies that are responsible for coordinating the program seeks the community approval and cooperation from the public, government, and other type of agencies. So for example, during your COVID cases, so you have your mga lockdowns. Okay, so those are mga control programs. The control program will induce service directed for the applicable levels of your prevention, that is, promotion of your health-specific protection, early diagnosis and treatment, and you have disability limitation and rehabilitation. So tandaan ko to when it comes to your COVID cases. I don't know if it's true that mga first COVID cases and ang ilang mga hospital bills ang nag-shoulder to was the government. Okay? Then you have your evaluating the results. So to see how well the objectives of the programs were met, compare the new situation with your original situation, to present the whole community with the result of the responsible action by your agency that is held accountable for your health of your people. Next is your promoting research, where your study or learns more about your natural history of your health problems to find and also improve countermeasures if this disease will once appear, and seek better ways of applying this type of countermeasure. So for example of your amotong COVID cases during mga, kung if ever there will be a new pandemic, I think the world will now be more prepared on handling those type of situation. Kay do na caught off guard gid ang tanan sang after to sang COVID nga lockdown. Okay? Then uses of your epidemiology provides data combined with the information from other disciplines to locate the etiology of your disease or a source ng aton nga disease. Number two determines whether epidemiologic data are consistent with your etiological hypotheses that are developed throughout sa aton nga study, either clinical at the bedside or experimental in your laboratory. Provides a basis for a preventive and public health services. And lastly is realization of the value of your knowledge of your disease frequency and distribution during the epidemic or non-epidemic times, even when your predominant concerns of your explanations for your epidemics. So that concludes our final topic for your epidemiology. Okay, so gin-shorten ko na gid ni siya. Gin-cut ko ni mga duwa ni sa ka PowerPoint. Okay, in-summarize ko lang because your epidemiology will be discussed later on and there will be more in-depth nga discussion like specific nga mga vectors, okay, how it was being infected or transmitted. Okay, so that will be all for today. So expect you'll have your quiz in our next meeting. And explain ko na lang dito kung makita na tanan for your final output given that almost all sections are done with the immersion na. So good day and always take care class. I'll be seeing you next week. Thank you and good evening.